Is this thing on? Hello? Is this on? Alright, it looks like it is on. And now that horrible joke is in the books, we can now talk about the movie. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Daniel Strong from QuickTime Reactions, and yeah, you may be wondering why I'm not recording this review in the even better spot of my car after I get done watching the movie. It is for a couple of reasons. One, I do like to keep you guys on your toes a little bit as to, how and when and where I record my reviews. And also, two, I need to clear out storage space on my phone so that I can actually record these reviews. So that's also another reason why it's not recorded on my phone. And you get, the beautiful 4K video. But you will get back to that at some point anyway. But we saw two movies tonight, and the first one that I saw was Is This Thing On? This was a movie that came out towards the tail end of last year, but now is getting a much wider release. And this movie stars Will Arnett, Laura Dern, Andre Day, Bradley Cooper, as well as a whole host of others. And it tells the story of Alex and Tess, who are pretty much at the end of their relationship. They are headed to a divorce and finding some way to try and, cope with everything. Alex turns to stand-up comedy. And while he's not great at it, people can understand where he's coming from with it. And it sounds like he's very genuine about it. And as they go their separate ways, Alex and Tess, they might actually come closer together through it all. We'll have to wait and see. So this one was interesting to me because of who was directing it. This is directed by none other than Mr. Bradley Cooper. And I'm just going to say right off the bat that this is my first Bradley Cooper movie that I have seen. I know that he has done a lot of other movies. Obviously, he's been in, the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, which I absolutely love. And he's also done movies such as, Wedding Crashers, Hangover, Silver Lining Playbooks, American Sniper, so on and so forth. But he's actually directed a couple of movies. A Star is Born and Maestro, which came out a couple years ago. Maestro did. So this is actually my first time watching a Bradley Cooper movie. And not only did he direct it, but he also had a hand in the screenplay alongside Will Arnett and Mark Chappell. And Arnett and Chappell worked on the story for this movie with John Bishop. And I have to say, to everyone involved in this, Bradley Cooper directing, and also him writing with Arnett and Chappell and Arnett with Bishop with the story, this is really, really compelling stuff. Like, this is really, really good stuff. Because there were lots of ebbs and flows in this that I was not expecting at all. I'm not going to spoil anything because, again, those twists and turns are definitely something that, I was not expecting in the slightest. And it was just really, really interesting how this story kind of unfolded as it went along, and learning about both Alex and Tess, what their lives were like, before they got married and stuff like that, what kind of happened to their relationship. It was all really expertly written as well as performed by Arnett and Lauradern, who I thought they both did an absolutely amazing job in this movie. The music in this was done by James Newberry, and I thought he did a really good job with this score, having both, whimsy moments when there needed to be whimsy, but also, like, I don't want to say tense and serious, but, like, there's a serious undertone to the score when there are certain scenes that happen, which I really do appreciate. And when the credits started to roll, I saw the words "inspired on a true story," and I'm like, I don't remember hearing anything about that one, because I reacted to the trailer for this. That's already up on the channel, but I don't remember seeing, inspired by a true story. And in doing my research on my way home, the reason why John Bishop is included in the story is because the movie's kind of loosely based off of his life, which, chalk that up as another thing that I was not expecting when going to see this movie, was that, this is actually something that actually happened. Now, granted, there might be some details that the movie's kind of leaving out, but still, to think that, something like this happened, with all the twists and turns that, happened, again, could be embellishment, but that's insane. And Bradley Cooper as a filmmaker, like, he's awesome in this movie. But him as a director, is really, really good. He's really good behind the camera. Like, there's a lot of what I'm going to class as free cam stuff. It very much feels like, it's a person behind the camera, holding the camera, and then, like, moving around and, like, jostling around. A lot of long takes. There's one scene which Alex and Tess are walking, and they're in a subway station. I feel like it doesn't cut for maybe 2.5 minutes. And every time that Alex is up on stage performing stand-up, the camera is, like, literally right in his face. And it's, like, going back and forth, going from the right side of his face to the left side of his face. And just, like, scanning the crowd and doing all that stuff. It's really, really good, and definitely it definitely makes it feel like you're there, but especially with those stand-up scenes, I think it's definitely giving us a look into Alex's mind, where it's like, it's going 1,000 miles a minute, because, he's performing stand-up, but he's also probably very, very nervous while up there, and so I just found it to be really good filmmaking from Bradley Cooper. So I thought he did a really good job with that aspect of the movie. But yeah, this movie was an absolute joy to watch. I'm definitely now going to have to check out his other two movies that he's done, because I really liked what I saw in this movie. Really good performances from the cast, really good direction, really good writing as well, capped off with a really good score. This is definitely one to watch if you have not watched it already. I highly recommend that you do so. But those are just my thoughts on the movie. But what are your guys' thoughts? Let me know down in the comments section below. And if you like, all these movie reviews that I'm doing, maybe hit that subscribe button that's going to pop up right there in just a little bit. But I think that's pretty much it for me on this one, guys. Be safe out there, and if you go to a bar and they have a cover charge for you trying to get in and get drinks, ask if they have a comedy club, because you never know. You might sign your name on that, thinking you're going to get a free drink, and then you might discover your next hobby in life is performing stand-up comedy. You never know. And I will catch you guys next time.